I burned an entire stack of pancakes, but my friend ate them with a smile and tears running down her face. I've worked in a traveling sales position for a long time and have met a lot of interesting people. One of these people was a woman named Amira, who I could tell was one of the sweetest people in existence from the moment we met. We met at a big hotel conference where several companies had sent their marketing and sales reps to make deals and negotiate. She was kind, polite, and incredible at pitching her company's product. But not everyone saw her for the talented sales rep she was. Instead, they looked at her navy blue hijab with disgust. At first, I only noticed a couple of people giving her dirty looks, but slowly, that number grew. By the end of the first day of the conference, I'd even heard whispers of people saying comments that I wouldn't dare repeat. Amira and I were walking together toward the water cooler when I couldn't help but ask if she wanted to fill out a complaint. She shook her head. I've dealt with worse, and I'm not giving them ammunition to make a scene. If you say so. Someone told me about a great Thai place down the road. Want to check it out with me? But Amira shook her head. Thank you, but I'm fasting for Ramadan. Since I had grown up Catholic, I didn't know much about Muslim holidays or traditions, but I at least knew that Ramadan was a time when worshippers would go for a long period without food or drink besides water. I asked her, you are at least having that midnight snack, right? Amira laughed. It's more like 2:30, but yes. Does your room have a refrigerator and microwave? Amira shook her head. When I asked what she was surviving on, she told me that she was basically living on the granola she packed and the sketchy options available to her from the gas station across the street. I shook my head. This conference is basically a back-to-back meeting from sunup to sundown. Are you sure you'll have enough energy throughout the day? Amira assured me she would before heading back to her room. The next few days, I couldn't help but notice the heavy bags under her eyes. I also noticed the same people who were giving her dirty looks at the start of the week are now complaining about Amira getting special privileges when she was allowed to skip segments to rest or pray. Could these people really not tell that she was running on empty? Heck, she was running on empty and still outperforming them. The only thing stronger than my growing frustration was my growing worry for my new friend. I asked around for the kitchen manager for the hotel. When I found him, I asked if I could borrow the kitchen and was shocked when he said yes. I set my alarm for midnight because I knew I would need the time to figure out what to make. I've always been a terrible cook, hence why Grubhub and DoorDash were my two most used apps. But the kitchen staff in charge of the continental breakfast wouldn't clock in until after Amira could no longer eat, so I had to figure out how to cook decently and quick. I propped my phone up on the counter and watched a video titled, "The Easiest Breakfast You've Ever Made." The video was all lies. I had a pan of rubber-looking eggs behind me, goop sliding down the walls from when the standing mixture threw out my first attempt at pancake batter, and a stack of burnt pancakes in front of me. The only thing that looked good was the bowl of fruit, but that had been pre-cut and packaged. All I did was dump it into the bowl, and some strawberries still ended up on the floor. I was so frustrated that I felt tears swelling up, but it was too late to change my mind. I had already slipped a note underneath Amira's door, and she would be in the mini dining area any minute, so I put what I could on a little tray and carried it out. I saw Amira waiting at a table by the window. I set the tray down, and she immediately stared down at the black pancakes. I frantically tried to explain myself that I had never used a griddle before, and how was I supposed to know that the mixing machine would be so aggressive? Before I had finished, I looked up to see Amira with tears streaming down her cheeks and a broad smile from ear to ear. I was stunned for a moment but said, I know it looks bad. You don't have to eat it. But Amira shook her head. This is the best breakfast a friend has ever made me. And we split the terrible tasting pancakes, smothering them in syrup. Every year since, I sent her a box of fudge for Christmas and look forward to her sending me a box of cock cookies for Eid. Don't worry, the fudge is store-bought.